This is Dan Seifer with The Verge, and I'm taking a look at the new Samsung Galaxy Note 5. It's the latest in Samsung's Note series of smartphones. It should look familiar because it looks a lot like a Note 4 and a Galaxy S6 combined together. It's a familiar 5.7-inch QHD display, but everything is smaller on the Note 5. It's narrower, it's shorter, it's thinner than the Note 4 was, which makes it quite a bit easier to hold and use in one hand. But it's still a big phone. It's definitely a phablet-style device. Here you can see it's the gold color that's coming to the US. It'll also be available in black. The back of it has this kind of curved finish, makes it a little easier to hold in one hand. But the details are very similar to the Galaxy S6. You've got your home key here, your back key, and multitasking. This, of course, is a fingerprint sensor, which will work with Samsung Pay when that's available. Up front, you've got a 5-megapixel camera for the front-facing camera there. And around back, you got this 16-megapixel image stabilized camera. It's very similar to the S6 as well as the flash there and the heart rate sensor on the back. Inside, there's the same Samsung Exynos processor as the Galaxy S6. This time it's paired with 4 gigabytes of RAM, because this is considered a higher-end device. And you can get it with 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage. Notably, there is no microSD card slot on this, which isn't a huge surprise, but it is something that's changed from last year's phone. And the battery inside is 3,000 milliamp hours, which is a little bit smaller than the Note 4's battery. But this time around, it's got built-in wireless charging for both Qi and PMA, as well as Samsung's quick charging mode. They say will charge the battery as quickly as the Galaxy S6, even though it's got a larger battery inside of it. For software, it's running Android 5.1 Lollipop. It's got Samsung's pretty familiar by now software interface on top of that. It's very similar to the Galaxy S6. Of course, what makes this a Note, though, is the S Pen, which you can see right here. S Pen has been slightly redesigned. It's a higher quality pen now. It's metal, a little bit nicer to feel. It's got a little spring-loaded action on it. One of the new software features is the ability to draw on the screen when it's off, so you can take notes immediately from when you take the pen out of its holster. Otherwise, you can activate the air command types of features. These have been slightly redesigned, a little more options now. You can set favorite apps that you want to use often with it, and you can access these pretty much anywhere you're using the phone in any app that you're in via these widgets. One of the new features of the S Pen is called Scroll Capture. It lets you capture things that are longer than just a single screenshot. So if it's a web page or a map or something like that, you can progressively capture more and more of the display that you can save offline. You can notate it, etc. So if you are trying to save your data usage or just capture a long page, you can see a preview of it here, and then you can go back and review it. Galaxy Note 5 is going to be available in the US on August 21st. It's going to be available on all 4 carriers. You'll be able to get it in black or gold like I've got here. And you can expect to be priced around the same as the Note 4 and prior Note models.